These films are going to be coming up against last week's big premiere, Joker, of course. The film broke all October records and is the best opening in 2 years for Warner Brothers. So we decided here at Fresh Out Fridays to have movie junkie and comic book expert DB all the way from Sway in the Morning to talk about how Joaquin's Joker ranks in the pantheon. Cool, as you can see to our right here, we have pretty much everyone who's ever portrayed the role of Joker. But before we dive in and see Mr. Cesar Romero right there, what did you think of Joaquin Phoenix's performance and just the film overall? Let's just talk about the film.
I mean, I had my reservations about whether or not he was going to be able to top Heath Ledger. That's probably the majority of people's favorite portrayal of Joker. And after seeing the film, I realize now how much work he had to put in, not just as an actor, but what he had to commit to getting into the role. So that kind of thing to me really plays a part in how I judge somebody's performance as an actor.
Number 7, who are you gonna put dead last?
All right, I don't think many people would argue with me, but I gotta go with Jared Leto. And honestly, it wasn't all of his fault. It was sort of, I think we were misled as far as his involvement in Suicide Squad. I think people thought they were gonna see a lot more of him, but we didn't, and we only got a few scenes. Although I will commend him for his commitment. He was sending a lot of weird stuff to his co-stars throughout the shooting. So good effort, but I'm sorry, Jared, you're going number 7.
Maybe the best grill of any Joker, though.
Yeah, I wasn't too crazy about that, honestly. It was Joker with a grill, I don't know, it's, yeah.
Face tats?
Nah.
All right, maybe you could be a SoundCloud rapper, Jared.
Definitely could, yeah.
All right, number 6.
All right, number 6, I'm gonna go with Zach Galifianakis in the Lego movie as Joker. You know, I know a lot of kids probably loved it, but I'm gonna go with number 6 for Zach. Number 5, I'm gonna go with Mark Hamill. Now, he came by Sway in the Morning, actually, and a lot of people weren't really aware that he did Joker. I mean, most people could probably just point him out as Luke Skywalker, obviously, but, you know, he came by, did the laugh for us and things like that, and he does have a significant fan base for his voice role as Joker, so I'll put him at number 5.
Number 4.
Cesar Romero, he is the OG with Adam West back in the 60s and on the TV series, which eventually became a movie. But, you know, he really was kind of limited in how much he could do. You know, it wasn't an origin story. You didn't really find out much. It was sort of like put on the costume, put on the makeup, and play the role as the bad guy. You know, we were talking about this backstage, and he didn't even shave the mustache for it. So, you know, at least commit a little bit more, you know, just when you're putting on the makeup.
Jared Leto sending risky texts to castmates.
Exactly.
Cesar, you could have done a little shave
there
job.
You go. Just
all right.
Shave it off next time.
Cool. Number 4, Cesar Romero, the OG.
Okay, number 3, I'm gonna go with Jack Nicholson because this was my introduction to Batman and the story.
Totally.
You know, obviously it was a little more clowny and not so much like, you know, with the runny hair and makeup and things like that. And it was definitely traumatic as a little kid to watch him as Joker, but I'm gonna give him number 3.
Right on. Probably the biggest Prince fan out of any Joker, though.
Prince was on the soundtrack, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Number 2 is gonna be Heath.
Heath. Now this is a controversial pick here, DB. This is an iconic role. There's a lot of context here to get into about his portrayal and then the aftermath of that portrayal. Why number 2 for Heath?
All right, so you know I wish I could give a tie, honestly, but there has to be a number 1. So Heath, definitely committed. You have to commend him. He won so many awards for this after his passing, and nobody had seen a Joker like this when he portrayed him in Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight, excuse me.
All right, number 2 right there, Heath Ledger leaves one man for the top spot. All right, Joaquin, controversial pick, maybe warranted, but Heath, man, legendary performance, got him the Oscar. Why Joaquin, the new one for number 1?
Well, I know some people are probably gonna give me a lot of heat for my just overall picks, but I think it's a little unfair to compare somebody who had an entire 2-hour movie about themselves and the backstory and everything that led up to him becoming the Joker to people who just had voice roles or people who only appeared on screen a couple of minutes. So when you see the film, you'll kind of understand how much he had to commit to the role. I mean, originally I was reading that Joaquin wanted to gain weight to play Arthur Fleck, but then director Todd Phillips wanted him to actually lose weight and convinced him to lose around 52 pounds. This is actually one of my favorite scenes when he's dancing to Gary Glitter Rock and Roll on the steps. And it's sort of like freedom to become this identity that he's been holding back for so long and dealing with so much. And now he's realized, you know, the potential of being free from, you know, the factors that have sort of kept him as a sort of guy who's been shunned by society.
Well, there you go, man. Number 1 on DB's official ranking of the Pantheon. There's that SAT word again of the Jokers. And there he is, Joaquin, triumphantly celebrating the top spot. All right, well, there you go. It's number 7 through 1. And DB, thanks so much, man.
Thank
This
you
is
so
really
much.
cool. Come back anytime. And
Definitely.
Sway, don't get mad at me for stealing your guy.
I'll be back.